Solid, it didn't take off. But right now we're in the second Star Wars, which for those of you who don't know, doesn't include Jar Jar Binks. That is actually a really good clap. Thank you very much. All right. But soon you'll see the Star Wars with the Ewoks and all your beautiful things in it. We're going on vacation, guys, and we're taking all of you with us. And you know what we're gonna eat every night to budget for it? We're gonna eat some fucking pizza. It's nice that he was crazy. He liked to job being drunk and lazy. And then he had another baby. He blew his money on the new Mercedes. And now he's sleeping at a bus stop. He left his wife and he's taking off. He got a Greyhound ticket out to buy. Greyhound ticket out to buy. You can see her now. Way up and so proud. If you can see her now. Way up and so proud. Waking up in the back of the bar. Everybody knows him, he's a superstar. Living in the street in his second-hand dumpster boot. Yeah! And now he's on your deck. He's at the bar hanging on your girlfriend. He left his wife and he's taking off. He had a Greyhound ticket out to buy. Way up and so proud.
Are you guys still excited? So let's give it up again one more time for Sonoran Chorus and Treasure Mammal. Those guys are pretty good too.
And a big shout out to the Playboy Man Baby,
AKA Star Wars 3. Let's hear it. Give it up.
Good evening. Go vaccinate yourself! 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 No one can get the radio! Hold on to the back of that radio! Hold on to that radio! Hold on to the incredible! Don't die to get incredible! Don't die to get incredible! Don't die to get incredible! Let's make that rainbow! 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 I know, I'm gonna get right, so somebody will take some right. Go vaccinate yourself! 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 You seem very accommodating. I don't normally do this, but I feel like I should open up to you. This is something we've never played in front of people before. It's a new song. It's called I'd Like to Meet Your Parents. And I would. She woke up yesterday and she was pushing 30. She had a couple of kids, her house was always dirty. And her way out of sight. She threw her life away. She threw her life away. She threw her life away. And it's been difficult, but always on the swallow. And when that's what she said, I come for more of butter. I put a cigarette. I drink my life beer. I threw my life away. I threw my life away. If you see that coming, I got nothing to say. I left my chainsaw running with her name. And I lied to the children in the sight. And the children in the sight. And the children in the sight. broken nose. They say it's probably nothing. I think it lasts at home. Now let me ask you something. I'm in a broken nose, but they were dumb and hollow. I don't know who to follow. I don't know who to follow. My friend is chicken tender. I got my wrist slim. I bet your boyfriend never. Which was you 16? I want an open casket. My mind is dark and shallow. My mind is dark and shallow. My mind is dark and shallow. If you see me coming, I got nothing to say. I left my chainsaw running within a YouTube. And I got something, 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 something,
Let it tuning in. All original drop.
All right, y'all. That was Drop Logic out of Denver. Oh, shit. And here we have Sean Reyes going to welcome us to this beautiful Saturday.
Yeah, are you asking me? Oh, yeah. Everything sounds great, and Drop, I mean, that's my, like, best friend. So, yeah. Dude, thank you so much for that. Totally. I hear you. Awesome. I mean, yeah, you guys are doing all the work, right? Sean's studio looks lit.
Bushwick Farm here. Okay. Oh, I thought it was 7:45. I saw the updated schedule and I thought it was at 7:45. Let's do 7:45 because that's what I announced on all my socials and stuff. Yeah? Okay, cool. That'll give me a little more time to set up. You've been up the whole time, man? I love that you're like, we're not showing my image anymore. We're just gonna show me fresh and alert playing the bass. Cool, man. All right, I'm gonna continue setting up, and thank you so much for having us. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you're welcome.
In the shadows I see the things you hide from me, the rage that fuels your beating heart.
I believe in the healing power of music. I believe that music gives us an opportunity to tap into something greater and to connect people. I believe that people need music.
Nick and I love to play for small rooms that are packed with people who want to be there.
And to connect with the audience in a way that is real and is important and genuine.
But I remember it all.
Musically speaking, you have all these different kinds, different cultures.
I give a jack about bringing people together, and I think music does that.
But I remember it
Jack show at the Woods was pretty incredible. The energy was awesome. The room, it has this really great vibe, and being able to play so intimately with the band just kind of gives this energy. And when you're doing music that has improvisation, you need to have some sort of conversation, some sort of interaction with the audience so you can kind of stay grounded in the moment, just be as present as possible. There's so many things that, if you will, Give a Jack about, is this concept of, I guess, multiculturalism. You know, you need this influence from around the world to continue to create art and create beauty and create joy. I'd like to be able to kind of, you know, use our music and use our platform to showcase and highlight the beauty of the music and art and cultures that exist from around the world.
Don't look so innocent, though your voice is loud. Your range is limited, limited, yes it is. All you had to do was listen, but all you have to do is talk. All you had to do was listen to the things I've done. All you had to do was listen, but all you ever do is talk. All you had to do was listen to the things I've done.
Going live. All right.
Oh,
Setting up.
awesome.
and
Great.
probably are live. Let's just hang on one sec to wait for it to
Sure.
load. And looks like we are live.
Yay!
So
Awesome.
I'm gonna pop back out of the ether. Hello, welcome everyone. This is Launch Global, and we're here with Claire Lim, a dear friend and a wonderful, wonderful technologist. And we are here to talk about something really important for everyone. So hey, welcome, Claire. How have you been? How's your quarantine going?
Thanks so much, Brian. I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having me. My quarantine's been going okay. I mean, the interesting thing about I think for a lot of musicians and maybe independent artists like such as myself and people who do a lot of freelance music type work is that a lot of the time my work is from home. So it's kind of like, okay, nothing's changed too much, but definitely not being able to go out and exercise is a huge one. So they're trying to exercise like in my house, in my small apartment. But other than that, the quarantine's been good. I mean, I think anyone who's staying at home is really doing a great contribution by staying home and flattening the curve. So that's always something nice to consider. And how's your quarantine been going?
It's going. All things considered, I think it would definitely suck a lot more if we weren't all going through this together.
Sure.
And as difficult as it is nice to really feel everyone looking out for each other. And I feel like, especially in our community of creators and artists, we're really seeing a paradigm shift, and we're seeing people caring more about really providing for their community than any kind of bottom line. And that really brings us into this conversation. Obviously, we're talking today about live streaming. For anyone that's just joined us, thanks for tuning in. Please follow Launch. Please follow Claire here. You can find her Daltrick, and the I is an exclamation point.
That's correct. Yeah.
Claire here is a music technologist, a live experience designer who has worked with Grammy-nominated, Billboard charting artists under her artist name Daltrick, who is super dope. Please check her out.
Thank you.
Claire, of course, thank you. Claire performs dynamic sets of live electronic music with controllerism, vocals, vocoding, all kinds of loops and drum machines and effects. Super, super neat. And Claire actively shares her content through various streaming platforms. So there was a word in there, live streaming. So Claire, how did you get involved with live streaming? And, tell us a little bit about, your relationship with live streaming and your setup.
Totally, yeah. So my relationship with live streaming has, interestingly enough, been kind of like it's been progressing very quickly over the last couple of months, just because I started being a lot more active. And this was just around the time that the coronavirus was actually starting to spread. So it was before everything went into lockdown, but just before that. And I started doing a lot of these streams, not just for musical stuff, but also sometimes to just chat with people and chat with people who listened to my music. So quote unquote fans, but like people who listened to the things that I created. And then I started doing these things on Instagram, which we'll talk about a little bit more after this. But the idea is that I started, really using different social media platforms as a means of doing streaming in that sense.
Amazing. All right. Well, let's, why don't we start at the beginning? So obviously, if you want to live stream, it's great if you have experience. Great if you have a good camera, a good recording setup. Let's say I don't. I'm a musician. I'm a salt of the earth kind of musician guy. I got a guitar and I got a phone. I got a laptop, but it's maybe from 2012, and I've never live streamed in my life. I know nothing about the broadcast world, so I'm sure a lot of people out there are in this space where they really want to go live, but they don't have a lot of resources. So why don't we start there? So let's say I have limited resources. I want a really DIY setup. What's the move? What do I do?
Yeah. Totally. I think that's probably the easiest place for anyone to start off. So anyone who's watching this live stream now, this is the reason why we're doing this, is because you don't need to have a super extravagant setup to begin live streaming. And just very quickly, I'm going to share with everyone a definition that I keep sharing a lot, but it's this idea of, okay, live streaming, what actually is it? It refers to online streaming of media that's simultaneously recorded and broadcast in real time. This is a definition that comes from a few different websites, and it also comes from, I think it's also on Wikipedia, some variation of it. But the idea is that you're connecting in real time with your audience through the internet. So it's very different from, for example, pre-recording a video and then sharing it on YouTube or something like that. But instead, you're using whatever technology you have to interact in real time. And that's the great part about live streaming, because you can do things like you can ask your watchers or your audience a question and have them respond in real time. And the great thing is that nowadays, most of the computers that we have, even some of the older laptops like 2012 laptops, they do have a webcam. And that's actually what I'm using today to kind of demonstrate the capabilities of what you can do with your live streaming setup. You can use your inbuilt webcam in a lot of your laptops or your tablets. And you can also use your inbuilt microphone. I'm not using my inbuilt mic, but we'll talk about that as well a little bit later. The great part about using your inbuilt mic is that, again, it's in your computer. So you can already start making these two parts of your computer more integrated for your own live streaming setup, because it's already integrated in some sense.
Right. Absolutely. And I know for me personally, I have found that the onboard mic for your smartphone or laptop actually is pretty darn good if you're going straight live to Facebook, or if you're going straight live to Instagram.
Totally.
If you have a laptop and a phone, then you can go Instagram and Facebook, and it sounds great. Now, one thing where we get a little complicated, you know, a lot of streams now are going through Zoom. Some are going direct to Twitch. Some are going through other streaming platforms, like OBS is a popular one people are using.
Totally.
And, you know I found that when you're, sometimes when you're talking to the onboard mic, when you're going through some kind of webinar software, the vocals sound really good, but sometimes the guitar can be a little out of phase. So one thing I would recommend to everyone is, if you don't really have a complex audio setup or any kind of USB enabled interface capabilities or anything like that, just go live straight on Instagram, go live straight through Facebook Live's built-in live module, and your onboard mic is going to sound pretty darn good.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's funny because sometimes we often, we were just talking about this before, Brian, but like, remember how we were talking about, some people are worried that they only just have a smartphone, but your smartphone can do you wonders, which is kind of like a funny type of way that sometimes we think ahead of ourselves. And it's like, we're anticipating problems that aren't already there. But
First
it's
world
like,
problems.
yeah, totally. And
I only have a smartphone.
It's like, I can't live stream with just a smartphone, but you totally can. And in fact, a lot of the apps that are created by specific social media platforms are optimized already for live streaming. So for example, you can go to Instagram Live directly from the app on your phone. You can also go live through your desktop immediately from, say, YouTube or Twitch. That's a great option also. And like you said, using OBS as a broadcasting software to do that. For anyone who's new to the live streaming game in general, OBS, that's the letters O, B, and S, it's a free open source type of software that allows you to connect to internet servers that will allow you to stream to different types of platforms. So common platforms would be Twitch or YouTube. Sometimes you could also go to platforms that let you stream to then multiple other platforms. So something like Restream.io is also great. That's a type of online browser-based software that will let you stream to, say, both YouTube and Twitch simultaneously if you wanted to.
Sure. Yeah. And an OBS, which stands for Open Broadcast Software, it's totally free. It also allows you to aggregate other video signals and channels. So, for example, if you're using OBS to manage a stream, actually, I know, Claire, we met at the first inaugural Stay the Beep Home Festival, which created with our friends over at Sonic Bids. And that was a full-scale live streaming music festival. And so now we're working with OBS, and there's a lot of capabilities there. You can send a Facebook call, you can send in through Skype or Slack or anything like that. You can even recapture a Facebook stream. So OBS, you can ingest a lot of different channels. So for anyone looking for some high-end live streaming, definitely check out OBS. It's totally free.
Yeah, totally. And actually, on that note, maybe I'll just share where you can get OBS if you are interested in getting OBS. So this, everyone, is where you can get OBS. You can get this at OBS and their official website, obsproject.com/download. And you'll notice that it does run on various operating systems. So it runs on Windows, it also runs on Mac, and also on Linux. And you can download the installer for free. And they also have other places that you can get the installer if you don't want to download it directly. So GitHub, it's also available over there. And you can also get previous releases if you find that maybe a certain version isn't working for you in its most stable state. And actually, Brian, this is something that I just found out about last week. Yeah, last week, end of last week. But there's another great streaming platform called StreamYard. It has a very interesting type of, this is my StreamYard account, but the idea is that you can broadcast even from your browser. So it's like OBS from within your browser, and there's a free version as well. There is also a paid version, but the free version, I basically tried to experiment with it and do like a Twitch stream. So that's why you see my little Twitch icon over here. But the idea is that you basically have another broadcasting studio that's free for within your browser. So I'm just trying to test this out and test out the audio quality and the streaming quality in general. But I'll send an update when I find out more about this. It's StreamYard.com.
Very cool. And one thing that I actually just learned about and have been thinking about potentially purchasing is something called the iRig streaming interface.
Ooh, yes.
And that is that's an audio interface that goes right into your phone, and you can use a microphone, and that will embed easily in an Instagram Live or a Facebook Live. Have you ever used anything like that or any experience with that?
Yeah, sure. So I don't own an iRig, but I recently worked with someone who did, because I was trying to actually help them help them set up their live stream platform. So yeah, we definitely looked at the iRig, and we also had a little bit of a mixer, like what you currently see in the screen over there to the left of that. There's a little mixer. So we tried to incorporate that into my client's live stream setup as well. But yeah, that's super cool. And it's
Cool.
at a great price. It's like such a great price point. So
Definitely. All right. So now I think we've covered DIY. So let's say, we want to have a good mic. As you can see, I'll just show you a little example just so you can
Sure.
actually hear the difference. So this is my built-in computer mic.
right.
Sounds fine. Sounds great. And this is now a condenser mic. So
Nice.
see, it sounds noticeably better. Now, how I'm doing this is I'm routing this through an audio interface, and I'm embedding that as my audio through Zoom, which is where we're hosting this stream. So yeah, let's say level up from DIY. We want an interface. We want good audio. We don't want to break the bank. We're not trying to spend thousands of dollars. What are our options if we want some good audio that doesn't really break the bank?
Sure. There are actually really lots of really great options out there. And I think an interesting observation that I made, and maybe Brian, you made the same one too, but since the entire COVID situation, so much gear has actually gone up in price as far as like live streaming goes. I only know this because I've been looking up different kinds of like hardware and software for the different people that I work with to just make sure I'm giving them the right advice. But some things that I remember used to cost, say, under $100 are now over $100, which is pretty interesting. But that said, sometimes you may not even need an audio interface at all, but maybe you need at least an external microphone. So one thing that I would recommend for consideration is perhaps a USB microphone. So I'll just share with you one that I've seen quite a lot of people use, and I used to own one as well. This is a Blue Yeti USB mic, and as you can see, it's about slightly over $100 US. But I owned this one when I did. I owned it for a very long time, and I even used it not just for things like podcasting, but even just recording into it and doing types of vocal recording. So this could potentially be a good investment as well. And I do believe they have some other different colors, if you please. So that's always quite nice to have that. So USB mic is also an option. That said, on the note of an audio interface, just to make sure that everyone's kind of on the same page, an audio interface is basically a device that will let you bridge between your computer and some kind of external microphone. So on that note, this is a website that that's called Lesson Squad, and it's a website that I share my personal gear recommendations for a lot of my students. But two of the items on this page, on my Lesson Squad educator page, are actually really great for starting off with your live stream setup. One of them is the interface over here that's called the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. This is the third generation of the interface, so it's definitely improved from its previous iterations, and it's created by a company called Focusrite. What this lets you do is it lets you plug in at least two microphones. So those are the two things that I'm kind of hovering over now. We see those jacks, and you'll basically be able to plug in some kind of microphone, such as the SM58, into that setup. So that's a very DIY type of setup. And if anyone's able to, I'm going to stop my screen share for a second, but I have a pretty similar setup over here just to illustrate with another similar dynamic mic. We call it a dynamic mic, which is different from the condenser mic that Brian has, but it's a mic that basically lets you connect directly to your audio interface through what we call an XLR cable. So this is something that you'll also need to connect this additional mic to your audio interface that I mentioned earlier. So that's an interesting option to consider, having maybe a small audio interface like the Focusrite and connecting it to a mic like this one. This is a Sennheiser, so it's not by Shure, but it's also a similar mic in the same family.
And yeah, that's a great point, Claire. And not only the great thing about the Scarlett 2i2, I have a Scarlett 18i8. It's basically the same thing with 4 channels. And then it doesn't even have to be a microphone. You can run a guitar, an electric guitar, directly in.
Totally.
One thing I do, I'm a DJ, so I have my Pioneer DJ decks. I can send my DJ decks through the interface, and then send a guitar through the interface. You can send a microphone through the interface. Then any track you can create in Ableton or Logic, you can export, just play back, use your DJ decks as a playback, and then run that. And then you have a monitor, and then you can sing over it. And then there you go. And I have found that the Scarlett's interoperability with Zoom is really, really good. And you can just select your interface as your Zoom audio channel, and then bam, you've got good audio. And it even integrates, there's good interoperability with Facebook Live and Twitch. So, any streaming platform, if you just get a good Scarlett. Now, just one thing to be aware of, I have noticed that M audio interfaces don't have great interoperability with Zoom. So yeah, and I've also even noticed too, getting a little ahead, but talking about video capture devices, certain video capture devices don't want to communicate with certain systems. So certain interfaces also don't want to communicate with certain softwares. So there's always going to be a lot of troubleshooting involved. But short answer, definitely recommend the Scarlett. And actually, if you look here's a website, and
ooh, nice.
And they're selling a whole bundle for less than $300, and it's the Scarlett, the headphones, and then a stand and the mic, and I assume it comes with an XLR too. So it's less than $300. Also, not recommending you go out. We want to stay home and stop the spread. That said, I feel music is kind of an essential service. Yeah. and B&H is still doing pickups. So
right.
you can order this interface today, and you can put on your face mask and gloves and stay 6 feet away from everyone and take your own vehicle. And you can actually go buy this at B&H in Manhattan today. Now, I don't recommend going out, but you can do it. And so if you really want to get an interface and you're not sick and you'll say socially distanced, that is an option. You can actually go buy one of these today. And of course, shipping and UPS and USPS is all still shipping. So you can still order this and in theory get this very, very soon and optimize your own home live streaming setup. Cool. Well, let's talk Okay, you know what? I've always wanted to build out a live streaming studio. I want to have good video. I want to have good audio. I want to have good lights. Any advice on that, or do you have any information for anyone that wants to go really really high end?
Yeah, sure. I think like the beauty about all of us being on the internet at the same time, and like you said, we're all trying to, be in the same, we're all in the same boat and we're all trying our best together, is that we end up getting lots of resources from other musicians and other people who are also live streaming. So like I learned so much from even just watching other people live stream and making notes about their setup. I mentioned this to a lot of people, but like one of my other hats that I wear is that I'm that of an educator. And one thing that I tell a lot of my students is you listen and you look. So you add like all of these observational things about the things that you see together. And so when you're listening to say one type of live streamer versus another, what makes them sound different? Is it actually the microphone? And usually for most part it is. So then you go in and you look and you say, okay, what is one live streamer using? Then what's another live streamer using for their other setup? So for me, even like whenever I watch another live streamer, I'm also making notes about, okay, how are they actually presenting their work? If they're a live streamer who is presenting music, which is most of the things that I deal with, for example, how are they organizing their screen? Are they actually maybe showing some music software? Do they have like a second camera set up? How are these things being organized such that the viewer, the audience, is actually in the best place to absorb the information that's presented in the live stream? So for example, in this case, like I wouldn't necessarily need to put up like a split screen or anything because I'm not like demoing a certain product, but this is more of a conversation. So that's why we have this particular setup. So I would say another piece of advice that maybe I would, or not a piece of advice, but a suggestion for some thought consideration is who are you presenting to and how is what you're presenting appropriate? So for example, if anyone out there is an educator, for example, you might not want to always have yourself on screen the entire time. You might want to share your screen at some points in time with your students if you're sharing information with them. That's the whole premise of also me and Brian sharing specific links with everyone who's watching the stream. Like we're showing you specific pages on Chrome or browsers to push you in the right direction. So thinking about specifically how you're sharing information also and how that's laid out. Tomorrow I'm doing a live stream on how to use this device over here that's called the Ableton Push. It's a music piece of hardware. And for that purpose, I'm going to have a second camera set up so that I have half of my screen with me speaking and using this, and then the other half of my screen in a software that I use called Ableton Live, which I use to make music. And I wouldn't probably have that set up in this case because I'm not talking about push. So now I don't have the second camera.
Okay, hello. Awesome. Just gonna unmute. What's up, Laura? How are you? Can you not hear me? You cannot hear me. Now you can hear me. Hello, Laura.
Hello.
Newman.
Hi there.
How are you this very fine morning?
Oh, I'm so good. I'm actually a morning person, so this is totally fine for me. My neighbors, though, who are joining me, this is Tony right here on violin. Lives
Hi,
in
Tony.
We're new friends, and this is Telfer, who I met here at Bushwick City Farm. So this is like an anarchist farm that's all volunteer based. We took over, or I should say the people who started this 10 years ago basically took an abandoned lot and turned it into a fully functioning farm with food that they're growing. And we have chickens and ducks, compost. It's really awesome.
Fucking amazing. Well, so glad to have you here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Abracadabra field trip and then take it away. We would love to hear some music.
Awesome. Yeah, so the Abracadabra trip started about 3 years ago. Basically, I had this idea that I wanted to take a bus out into nature and play in nature. I love music festivals, and I wanted to make my own, basically. And so I brought the idea to Tycho, who has this amazing bus called the Bluebird that's a big party bus in the city. And he thought that was a terrible idea and way too much work and expensive to go out, to the Catskills and do a concert or something. And he said, well, why don't we just go to Tompkins Square Park and you can play on the roof? And I was like, that no, like the cops are going to stop it in like 5 minutes. And he's like, you don't know that. And I said, okay, well, I'm a radical activist. I've done a lot of environmental justice stuff. I used to sing with the Church of Stop Shopping and inside of Walmarts and protesting all kinds of corporations. So I was like, I'm not scared. And we went and we played for like 5 hours straight. It just went on and on and on. We went to Washington Square Park, Union Square. The cops just kind of, so how long are you going to be? We're like 20 minutes. We're like, cool, it sounds good. And thus was born the Abracadabra Trip. And so we have done about 30 shows now, and the band keeps transforming. And I'm really wondering what's going to happen in this time of COVID, and when we can finally go back out. Okay, I just changed my audio. How does it sound here?
To play a tune, and then we'll pause it if needed.
I think the input level is a little low. So
Yeah, it's a little low. I would maybe go up a bit.
Input level. Hey, Telfer, for some reason the level's a little lower than it was last time, and I'm wondering, but I'm here. Let's see. Oh, this might be why, because 2 isn't on. Okay, that's better.
Sounds great now.
Voila. Yes, I have a mixer going. Okay, so let me turn this one up a little more. Tony, can I hear you for a second? I'm gonna put a little wind filter on and we will do some music for you.
Wonderful.
Okay. They fallen over.
That was the Ken Burns Something Farewell.
Okay. So just so you guys know, I can't hear you when I'm over at my spot, so I'll just come over after we do like a little 2-minute thing and make sure it sounds good. Sound good? Okay, Daniel, thank you so much. I say G. Let me turn you up. In a time in a funny place, I read the North Star, and I wondered how far. And oh, time and time again, you were with me. I feel the breeze, and I'm
How's it sounding out there? Can you hear the bass and the violin all right? The bass and the violin, can you hear it all right?
Fantastic. Your voice sounds wonderful. The bass and violin could use a little oomph.
Little oomph? Okay.
A little oomph. That said, it sounds fantastic. If you can't change a thing, it still sounds good.
I can turn up the other two. Here we go.
Oh yeah, now we're talking.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Plain common sense, it's plain. What a fine times for falling down and getting up again. I see something coming after me. But I won't look back and I won't give up. It's crooked now, but we have done enough. We've done enough. Listen to my words and take a note. We've got a lot of thinking now. It's time to know. And we don't, we we and they wonder where and when and why and how and who will come and save them in the end. In the end, in the end, fill it out, make it round, make it a lifetime commitment. Oh, we see the branches and we can stick with it all. Give me my axe, give me the hammer, give me a task to take on. I can't be inside my mind anymore. Give me the floor, give me the floor, give me the floor. Let's, oh yeah, and la 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 and I'm liking all that you got. We made. I can't believe we're saying, oh babe, I'm here. I'm speaking to your spirit. Rest, babe. This ain't no test. I like that. Let's change the key.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I can't think right now.
We're not thinking anymore. We're just feeling. Let's do C.
Okay.
Yeah? All right. I'm singing on the Voice Live Touch 2, which has this beautiful harmonizer. And I grew up singing in choirs, so I love having harmonies all the time. Okay, C, the key of C. Come here, baby. Give me a C so I know where we are. You want to start with? Boom, boom goes the heart. Boom, boom goes the heart. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. She baked it out. Boom, 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 boom. And we boom, 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 we stopped and we took a bite. I can't believe this is my lucky day. Oh, baby, you came into my life with a moment of rain. I saw it buried deep down low. You got yourself a funny kind of flow. You know, why should I be so nervous? Why should I care? Why should I wonder if you're staring back at me? If I look outside myself, I see so many colors, so many times. Feed that curiosity, oh baby, I'm here. Oh, give me an opportunity to put my attention on you, on you. Fill it up, get it up. Let's go and let's get really stuck. Oh, I'm ready. Ooh, ooh, hey, where did the attention go? Oh, nobody knows. We move back and forth, come up the street, and I wonder if I can be straightforward with you. Just let go of the fear. If you make me listen, I will hear you clearly. Kind of wandering, kind of peaceful. You got something far from evil. Praise. Break, 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 break. Break, 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 break,
We'll call that one. I hope y'all could hear the chicken out there. Or no, it must have been the rooster going. That was awesome. Okay, what time is it? 8:11. Cool. So I think we got one more. Can we? I know it's going by fast, right? Let's do like a classical funk song, but like classical music meets funk. What do you think? And Andy, what's a theme or a word that you would like a song about?
Early morning.
Early morning. Very fitting, very literal. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
All right, let's stay in the same key. Yeah. Bim, 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 bam, 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 bim. Bam, 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 If you start off with a jam, if you took a mighty, mighty breath, I'll tell you I go out in the early morning. I got a kind of rugged sense. Get out and up and round we go. The cycle flows. If you want to hear it, if you want to see, if you got lots of energy in the morning, in the morning, in the morning. How many sunrises have you caught? How many minutes have you thought about tomorrow? Tomorrow will get there. And if you see in this time of disease, we got so much space and quiet in the early morning. In the early morning. Give me a morning to myself, and I'm fine. Oh, it's safer there. Oh, it's pleasant. No one cares. No one cares in the morning. Amazing. When you look out in the morning and you see someone you love, that spark, that energy. It's high. It's high. Feel the heat. Get on top. Get on top of it and figure it out. Feel the skin and wander all about the four corners of your little bed. It's sacred when you're stepping out, giving up, feeding yourself.
Place me on the road, and I'll run back and forth until I'm cold. Let the heat build up. See the possibility far away. Let's make it the best day, the best day. An early morning brings it out. The best day, the best day, the best day, the best day. Have the best day ever, everybody. We hope you all get outside at some point. It's gonna be a hot one. It's gonna be in the 70s. We're a band and your weather report. So I can't wait to see who's next. And thank you to Launch. We're the Abracadabra Trip, and it's been a real pleasure waking up very early and turning. I don't think I've sung this early, maybe ever, actually. Like usually there's warm-ups and like, you know, at least we had some coffee, but wow, what a cool experience. Thank you. And we'll see you on the internet.
Amazing. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you, Laura. That was unbelievable. Wonderful, wonderful music. So now up next we have Will R.D., aka Jack Willard. He is not here. Oh, he is. There he is. What's up, Will R.D.? So this is a very good friend of Launch. We have Mr. Will R.D.
Hello. Welcome. Thanks so much, Jack.
Thanks a lot, Jack.
That's
That was
brilliant.
terrific.
I'm gonna introduce our next host. I'm gonna introduce our next host, Jeff Moses. Welcome.
What's
You
up,
rock,
everybody? Good morning. It's your boy, Jeff Moses. I'm Launch's house photographer as well as the manager of the world's best nerdcore rapper, Megaran. We should have AI allocation coming up any moment now. He's coming in out of Alabama. We're just waiting for him to check in. Hello? Anyway, Launch Global. This is the first 24-hour live streaming music festival ever for anybody tuning in just now. Launch Global is a really great organization that a good friend of mine, Brian Stollery, is heavily involved in. they've been putting on some really rad concerts around the city and have some really great ideas going on to just make music a lot more accessible to everybody, musical success. And I see that Al Elliott is on, but I don't see picture yet, so he should be, coming in any moment.
I'm here.
Here he is. Hell yeah. How you doing, Al?
Man, I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
I think Launch Global's doing real well. This 24-hour fest has been going great. We really appreciate you checking in and getting involved.
Man, I'm glad to be here, man. I'm in album mode, man. So y'all are total inspiration to me right now. I don't know everything. I know a lot of things. Learn to learn anything, even if everything that they bring every spring is not that everything that they be telling me. Learn to let and be. Let's go to Ghana. Leave all the drama. Get it together. Not bring the drama. Voted Obama. Nothing has changed. After a Trump, let's give it a yang. It don't really matter. They all the same thing. They got it. We wanted it. Don't ever change. Let's take it. We wanted it. That's not so strange. Don't making the plan. We taking the range of robbing the word into with bang. Walking with power. Walk out in poofs. Out like a flame. Out like a light. Into the dark. Lit like a spark. Working so hard. It's working so far. That's why we get it, don't know how to quit it. We never get mad, but we will get livid. We came from nothing, that's why we keep feeling. Passing some murder, we never not kill it. Look at my life, that's how we living. Drinking from salsa, drinking with spillage, arriving the salsa. Lift up the village, so beam me your Scotty and bring all the hotties and bring all the coolies and leave all the tooties and leave all the toolies right where they stand. I bring the canyon, you bring the grand. What do you think is a hell of a plan? Whatever you think, just know I ain't playing. I am for real, that's what I'm saying. My word is born, you understand? I love it. So AlElliott.co is what I'm trying to centralize all my little stuff around because social media is confusing. But this stuff like this is what I love, bro. It's what I love.
Yes.
Well, why don't you give us you feel free to give us as much as you'd like, man. We're loving it over here.
Okay, I'm gonna do this one. It's a steady drip of water where I'm holding the rock. I'm always wearing shoes that got a hole in my sock. I'm poetry, emotion, don't be posing a lot. Because she don't love your boy, that don't make her retire. And that don't make her less hot. It ain't a better killer because she's black as a pot. Come to think of it, all my pots are stained steel. And when you think of it, just know it ain't an aimless wheel. Guess who's driving? We roll with our flows just like Bama be tied. And we all about living to help with surviving. Everything is significant. Here at Elocation Labs, world's experiment. You test too, baby. You ain't gotta believe me. That don't make me crazy. The world did that on its own. If you listen with your mind, if a pad to be blown, it's an all-out attack and all we got is the song. A steady drip of water where I'm holding the rock. I'm always wearing shoes, still got a hole in my sock. I'm poetry, emotion, don't be posing a lot. And cause she don't love your boy, that don't make her retire. And that don't make her less hot. She ain't a better kettle cause she black as a pot. Come to think of it, all my pots stained steel. And when you think of it, just know it ain't an aimless wheel. Guess who's driving? The battlefield exactly where we belong. So when we need a bird's eye view, it's either God or a drone. And when you recognize a king, it's not just because of his throne. Recognize how we swag out once it get grown. We done with the kid shit. Everything we do considered big shit. Challenge master barbers. End up with your wig spit. A cut of other freight. In a league of our own. In a nation, a million. You are not alone. We all down here chilling on the same piece of dirt. Plant seeds in it. Downside at work, add water, sunlight, and the power good cheese. That means verbal fertilizer from an MC. Make sure the words are couched in the healthiest beats, and the fruits of your labor shall produce the feast. Now everybody eats, and war becomes peace, and those have learned to go east. What you think? J Mose, what you think, man? That's what's up, baby.
Sorry about that. I was having some technical difficulties over here.
Nah, you good. You good.
It sounds really good, man. Let me ask you. So you're down in Alabama, right?
I'm Alabama, baby. For the country, we out here represent.
How's Alabama been dealing with the COVID crisis?
Really, man, Alabama is kind of always the last to kind of get on board. But I think in this particular case, the best thing is like to let us move around because a lot of us. Like to me, it's always viruses. So I'm always safe and making sure my antibodies and all that is up. So just to me, it's just a time for artists to use the technology to basically revalidate the importance of our purpose. And I think for the longest time, especially in hip hop and my personal favorite genre, it's kind of the purpose was lost and it just went to fun and drugs and a lot of women just belong to somebody else.
Well, let me ask you, who?
And I don't really like that those things.
who do you see as kind of as your hip hop Mount Rushmore? Who are your 4 like real MCs that you look at as your
4? Okay.
Big
I would
4.
say A Tribe Called Quest, I'm gonna count as one. A Tribe Called Quest. Then we got The Roots. Then we got KRS-One. And then we got Chuck D, a Public Enemy.
That's a pretty good hip hop Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm on. It's just a lot of times, man, I think that we just lose sight of how important we are.
Where
I'm talking about just artists.
Where do Nas and Dr. Drake fit into that conversation?
Dr. Drake's not a person.
Nas is in the category. Yeah, but Nas is in the category by himself. I love Nas, but if I had to pick 4, Nas is like really a jazz musician. He's a lyrical musician to me. So Nas is he got a statue at the foot of Mount Rushmore.
What are the others of Mount Rushmore? Sorry, what were the other?
I said A Tribe Called Quest, I'm counting as one. I know KRS-One is one. Chuck D, a Public Enemy. And then like Black Thought of The Roots. I would put those 4 as Mount Rushmore. Nas get honorable mention because Nas is Nas, man. Nas has been the truest artist since he's been out over and over and over again. And I think Nas.
I mean, I'll argue to death. I'll argue to death that Illmatic is the greatest hip hop record ever made.
Illmatic. This is what I'm saying. And keep in mind that's how he came in the game. Like he wasn't even 21. He's really a self-made man. I think most artists are self-made. And so in hip hop, a lot of times you have people that become famous. You can't make yourself famous. So if you were famous, then you had a lot of help. But you can't make yourself a validating institution with your art. Basically, this is what I think about the world and as I interpret it. And I think that's what artists do. To me, the closest thing to being God is being an artist. Because we take the non-physical and our ideas and create something physically in this world, whether it's an audio track, a music video, a sculpture. You are creating something from nothing every time. And
now let me ask you something. Do you remember your very first hip hop show?
The one that I performed at, the one I went to.
The very first one you went to.
It was New Edition. Actually, these people don't know about New Edition. New Edition was so big. New Edition was so big that they had tour insurance. So I saw Houdini, New Edition, and something else in Fairfield. But I saw a lot of rappers when they was on tour with other people. Like I saw Busta Rhymes at a Tuskegee homecoming with Outkast like 20 years ago. You see what I mean? Yeah. And then like there's a club here called Saturn. I saw Diggable Planets last year at Saturn. Goody Mob was supposed to come. Yeah, man. So there are places in Birmingham that support real live music and real art.
As the hip hop game changes, you know, all the time, you were talking about earlier how you think there's not very much conscious rap going on. Is there anybody kind of from the upcoming generation that you are into?
I love everything, man. Like, so I love, personally, I was listening to Meg Thee Stallion yesterday.
Yes.
So Meg Thee Stallion is dope.
Yeah.
The Baby is dope, but I think that they need to be balanced. I think for every Meg Thee Stallion, where's the new Erykah Badu? Where's the new Jill Scott? See what I mean? Where's the balance? There's no balance. It's like all one thing right now. And so that's kind of just my perspective. I want to bring balance to the art that I love.
You're part of the balance, my friend.
I mean, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you being here. Do you have another acapella for us?
Yeah, I'm gonna do one more and then I'm waiting to meet somebody.
All right.
How you gonna act? I remember when I first started to rap before I had any scratch. I ain't had $2 to stack. I drove an 80 Prelude. It was a piece of crap. Stayed at my mama's house. Yeah, I lived in the back. I was rhyming and flowing, kept a demo in my pocket. Maybe it was live or maybe it was lame, but I ain't care because I was doing my thing. Rapping now at the time with the title Sported. I was mailing out demos. Everybody get noted. I do a show for free and everybody applauded. But applause don't pay the bills. Gotta get paid if a brother gonna live. That's rule number one if you in this business and want to go pop, but I wanted that fears all yellow brick roads don't lead to the whiz. So he's on down. The road less travel is off on the right path. A lot of y'all making money but not doing the math. So no more fame equal no more cash. Ain't that sad when brothers say what I had? When I was on top of the world, I had the finest cars, the finest clothes in the world, finest girls. So just bang, bang. Boogie to the weekend, up jump the boogie the game. Still pretty good opportunity to gang. Not how I just took it. I ain't get a fast shake, but that well is still sugar. Now look, I ain't got no recipe, and I don't know how I did it myself. So the only thing I know how to tell you when you come ask me for help is I can't give you what I don't got. If I got to go and get it, I ain't trying to give it. I got to give my all just to get what I'm getting. And giving it to you would never do. When it's the DWL, never off the groove, I'm the anti-stellar. Got the blues, I'ma make it more better. More money, more problem. Not according to my experience. The problems don't increase, they're just different than the last I heard. Change is good. If we make enough change, we can change the hood. Maybe I could be praised, legalize the wood. Ain't that what we want? Or did I misunderstood? I don't know how to get it, but it would be good. I ain't got all the answers. I'm making suggestions instead of being models and posing questions. I know it come different. Ain't it refreshing? I'm guessing. Get tired of the flow of my possession. How a brother smoked out and he don't be stressing. How you got 100 women and they all undressing? Some of y'all game is as fake as wrestling. Can you smell what that weller is professing? Classes in session. You better learn your lesson. Cause when I run up on you, I'm gonna be tested. No trick question, no need for perplexing. Edible for ears, call it audible digestion. Keep a party hot like I would cook it in the West. Keep that same party bouncing like it came out of checking. Bring the house down like a ball made for wrecking. I had to have talent, I ain't got no connections. Don't follow me, it might be the wrong direction. Blue, I ain't a guy, find your own clues. I had one dude came up to me, asked me how I do it or did. Yo, I thought about it for a second, and then I told the kid, I can't give you what I don't got. If I got to go and get it, I ain't trying to give it. I got to give my all just to get what I'm getting, and giving it away will never play. How about that?
That's terrific. Thank you so much, Al.
Yeah.
Man, thank y'all, man. I gotta run, man, but y'all keep hope alive, baby. We don't keep hope alive, hope keep us alive. You feel me?
Yes, sir. I agree.
Love you, sir.
I love y'all, man. I gotta go. We're gonna be in touch, baby.
Absolutely. Launch Global, 24-hour launch. So
Launch Global. Hey, look, I'm gonna check back in a little bit, man. I love it too much.
Please do, man. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
All right, Launch Global. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Next up is a rapper from Tucson, Arizona. He's based out of Phoenix, Arizona now. Actually, a personal friend of mine. We are, we've worked together quite a bit. We worked together for Phoenix New Times. We put on a show together once. That kind of fell apart. I'm looking at his face right now. It's good to see you, Jaron. I'm going to turn you on. Feel free to chime in whenever you're ready, man. This is Jaron Eichner, formerly Black One.
What up? This is Jaron Eichner here, aka Black One. I don't really go by Black One anymore, but I just got some songs to share for y'all. This is a pre-recorded video because it's kind of early here. I just woke up like 10 minutes ago, so I went ahead and put together a little pre-recorded set from some songs from my last album, my self-titled album, Jaron Eichner, and then my forthcoming EP, Arizona Kanye 2. And Arizona Kanye. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. And if you guys want to see more or hear more from me, check out my website, JaronEichner.com. It's JaronEikner.com. Much love. And let's get it. You guys will be playing the video, right? That's it. What's up, y'all? My name is Jaron Eichner, multimedia artist out of Phoenix.
Go ahead and play it.
And I'm very excited to take place in the first ever 24-hour streaming concert brought to you by Launch. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. This track right here is called Savior from my self-titled album, Jaron Eichner. Hopefully you enjoy it. Check it out. Yeah. Living Caviezel, passion of Christ, and I fight for the people. I'm sick of the fecal. I'm hearing them hating, they thinking they equal. We seeing them faking when shaking their hand, thinking they taking your brand. No, this ain't making the band. We make what they can. The hate that we make what they can, taking the fate in their hands.
damn. Breaking and breaking and breaking them bands, breaking and breaking them bands, damn. Shaking and shaking them sands, breaking the goal. Legacy taking the hoe, nigga we know. Nigga be trading in row, giving no go, living a hoe. Think that they live in the flow, think that it's heat but it's cold, think that it's yes but it's no. Preacher be blessing your soul, teaching you lessons to grow. Another confession to know, learn from the best in the pro. Nigga invest in your soul, whoa. Just waiting for my savior to come and save me. While you waiting for your savior to come and save you, we just waiting for our savior to come and save us. I'm just waiting for my savior to come and save me. Red eyes and the weed smoke, we survive how we know, we shine how we glow, they deny what we know, so I'm finding the path, trying to find the rhythm and I'm right in the math, yo I'm lying, in fact I'm just trying to pass, but too much time in the past with the mind, the cast sunlight in the match, burning the bridge, people turn their back cause they heard what you did, never check the facts to stir with the shit, spreading the rumors that burn in your pit, sitting on the curb that they kick, looking for the antidote, but I couldn't find my name on a can of coke, and I wanna be a goat, wanna set sail, but I know I need a boat, but I need a float. Never alone, never alone. Better watch your mouth when I speak that tone. Better watch your house and keep that throne. No game, falling off so Rogaine. I'm a crazy nigga with phone names. When I split the difference, it's your game. When I close your mind, it's a slow brain. Like I'm just waiting for my savior to come and save me. While you waiting for your savior to come and save you, we just waiting for our savior to come and save us. I'm just waiting for my savior to come and save me. Still waiting for another chance to fly away. Still waiting for another chance to fly away. Still waiting for another chance to fly away. No one's here to save you, y'all. No one's here to save you. 24-hour live stream, shout out to launch. Save it, let's go. Mama told me that I need to stay mobile. Payment arrangement on the T-Mobile. Sold the beat for 20 just to stay vocal. Niggas got all this money to stay local. That's no focal. Nigga out of sight. Tunnel vision when I run a mission. Headed for the light. Put a mission, that's a mission, that's a mission. Got no wishing they didn't know the difference. They don't wanna listen. Then you wanna be a guy, take a ticket. Wanna take a shot, you're kicking, that's net worth. Niggas wanna move to your network. Nigga, you should go and check a neck first. This next song is called Love Everyone from my EP Arizona Kanye. Yeah. 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 At the office, you know. 24-hour launch, let's go. All these niggas wanna hear is you the man. I redistributed my power like the Hoover Dam. Selling weed so she can smoke with dudes. I would tell her no, but that would be kinda rude. Me and my boo doing things that they never knew. Keeping my third eye open for a better view. Niggas talking out of line, feeling overzealous. Asking how I got my face all over Reddit. Scouting with my boys when we racking up the merits. These white girls fuck with black like it was a fetish. Every letter is a bullet versus cemetery. It's hype to heat it up in the middle of February. Legendary, not up for conversation. Elementary, niggas need an education. Demonstration, they watching every single move. Coagulation, the way that I made the glue. True, the girl said he wants to see the glow. My son said he wants to babysit. My mom told me to free my soul. I told myself to put it on the list. All I ever really wanted was to show him love. And when they go ahead, they hold that above. I just want a house with chandeliers and golden rugs, and to pay another nigga to go hold the drugs. I don't do this rap shit to be the coldest thug. I do this art shit for those that really need a hug. That's all we really need. Love everyone now. Love. That's all we really need. Spread love. We need that more than ever, y'all. Love. That's all we really need. Tell someone you love them today, you know what I'm saying? Love. That's all we really need. Let it play. Love everyone. Love everyone. Love everyone. Love everyone. This track is called Mawar from my forthcoming EP, Arizona Kanye 2, available for pre-order now at JeronEichner.com. Hope you enjoy it. Go check it out. Yeah. Star. Strut. It's a 24-hour live stream festival brought to you by Launch, making history out here, you know what I'm saying? This track's called Mawar from my forthcoming EP, Arizona Kanye 2. Let's get it. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. Check it. Making them pay attention, saying what they won't mention. They're trying to box me in, but we in a different dimension. Animated suspension, these niggas are never moving. No respect for the game, these niggas are fucking clueless. Life can be so ruthless, they wanted that we like Brutus. Standing against the wall, won't shake hands with the Judas. Making plans to pursue it, taking chances to do it. Understanding illusions and hoping to move some units. Perception and understanding, floating above the future, forcing the underhanded. Diagnosed with the cuteness, underlining intention. They try to take it for granted, a dashing the disadvantage. And now we taking what's handed, and now I'm getting respect. Only cause I demand it, because they take it away. That's what the plan is, leave you hungry and famished. That collateral damage can be the last of your passion. So I always know what you asking for. Damn, what you asking for? Damn, what you asking for? We out here just trying to live our best life, you know. Just trying to be safe, you know. Converting thoughts into data, converted to paper. Roll up your expectations when subverting the vapors. Never nervous to observing there's something worth it. So even if you focus the picture, but never perfect, the first you lead to distractions. Distraction leads to destruction, and oftentimes we wander down roads that lead to nothing. Keep it 100, or something under it. Money puts we on a mission, you can suck a dick. Put it on your bucket list, yep. Because when we kill the game, then you finally know who you fucking with. Niggas get shot every day, said Cameron. Niggas take a shot every day for the camera. All that bullshit that we read about makes it easy to weed them out. I need a crown, but don't call me king. Just a nigga on this grind trying to do his thing. Damn, fuck. Just facts. I'm just out here, just like everybody else, trying to survive, you know. Times are crazy out there. Things are crazy out there. We just here. Been here. We ain't going anywhere. We're survivors. Yeah. Star, strut. Make sure you keep fighting, man. Make sure you keep pushing. That's what it's all about. Let's go. Yeah. Star. Strut. Yeah. 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 Okay.
That's dope. Alright, that's dope. Jeff, give it up. Jeron, that's
All right, everybody.
Jeron, that's so amazing.
Thank you.
Jeron Eichner, y'all, out of Tucson, Arizona. Like I said earlier, this is a good homie of mine. While the set was going on, I actually remembered something that happened between me and Jeron. Jeron, you remember this poster?
Is that the show? Oh, wait. Hold on, let me turn this up a little bit. What's up?
Hassan, do you remember this poster when you had to sit in for me back in July of 2015 on the Thunder Bubble?
Yeah, I do remember that. I think that's actually when you introduced me to, or like you turned me on to Bumpy music.
Bumpy 103, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
So, Duran, you're obviously a well-seasoned hip-hop guy. That's why I trusted you to step in on my own show.
Well, 1 second. I'm gonna switch the headphones real quick. There we go.
All right, so Duran, you're a well-seasoned hip-hop guy out there in Arizona. I definitely want to talk about some big picture hip-hop stuff, but on the smaller picture, who are some people that are, you know, in your periphery out there in Arizona that you really like?
Right now I really like cats like Marley B. I mean, I have my own team out here called Starstruck Multimedia, which is kind of basically like handpicked artists from across kind of the country. And, you know, we're not really doing a lot right now, but these are like my family and people I really mess with. Some of these members include like Marley B, Cash Lansky, Lizzie Page, who else? Stack Styles. There's a bunch of us, Fiddy Mendez, but these are basically some of the best artists to come out of Arizona. I really like artists like De La Prime too, really, really good artists. The Fonzarelli Project, really dope. There's a lot of really dope hip hop talent out here that's bubbling, and I think it really is. I'm not really a big fan of the whole blowing up a scene thing, but there's a pretty strong hip hop scene out here that would surprise a lot of people for sure.
Now, you always you seem to think Arizona has a very specific hip hop flavor. What do you think goes into that? What are the styles of hip hop you see happening out there?
I actually think hip hop, or the hip hop out here, is more of a melting pot. I think part of the reason why the Arizona hip hop scene, quote unquote, hasn't gone on yet is because there isn't like a really definite sound out here. If anything, we kind of more likened to California in terms of sounds, like more kind of like laid back, kind of wavy music. But I've heard artists rap over trap beats. I've heard like old school boom bap. The Latino hip hop community is really strong out here. Shout out to artists like It's Dub and MC Magic are really representing the Latino
Young
community.
Ryder of the Latino hip hop community out there. I know
Yeah.
Young Ryder crew.
It's really strong out here, and I think there isn't really like a sound per se. I think that's something that I'm really trying to do out here, just as like an African American artist out of Arizona. I'm really trying to define my own sound that's like my sound, and I think I'm getting close to where people hear my music and it's like, oh, that sounds like a Jerron Eichner beat. So
Good. Now, obviously, I don't think anybody is going to be shocked. You're a Kanye West fan. Arizona Kanye. Arizona Kanye 2 on its way out soon.
Yes, drops next week.
Arizona Kanye 2 out next week. If Jerron Eichner had to make a hip hop Mount Rushmore, I just asked the last person on before you the same question. Who's going to be on it besides Kanye West, we assume?
That's a good question. All right, so let me think. If I were to guess or try to summarize this, I would probably say, yeah, I would put Kanye West on there because I look at artists who like kind of define generations. So Kanye West would be on there. I'd